Hey, what is up, y'all? It's your favorite feathered pest Dak, also known as the SJSU Duck, and welcome to a special video I have for y'all today. Hopefully every single one of you is enjoying summer, as we still have plenty of time left until we get back into bread chasing. I haven't made any content recently due to me being way too busy with what's going on in my life, and as some of you may know, I have been planning on attending away football games this season as well, so working all day to get that bread is a must. If you would like to help me out in achieving this goal, hit that link in the description below and support me by either buying my merch or donating directly to the GoFundMe link. Also, if you're a fan of San Jose State Athletics or simply a fan of a team in the Mountain West, hit that subscribe button as I have more content planned for the future. Enough quacking from me, let's get into today's episode. I mentioned earlier that today's episode is a special one because y'all helped me make it. 2 weeks ago, I posted a sticker on my Instagram story that allowed y'all to send in a question. 12 of y'all tapped and asked away, so in today's episode, I'll be providing my response. If you would like to take part in these episodes in the future, follow my IG at SJSUDuck and give my stories a view, as that's where I post a large bulk of my content. Anyway, our first question comes from Shrey, who asks, which basketball game of SJSU has been your favorite, and why? When you ask this question, a multitude of responses immediately come to mind. Whether it was the season opener against Fullerton where Trey Smith hit a turnaround buzzer beater, or the game a couple days later against Northern Colorado where Omari Moore baptized Old Boy in the clutch, there were many options to choose from in this past year. But for me, the game that takes the cake was the February 20th matchup against New Mexico, which saw us pick up our first and only conference W of the season. And this game saw us defeat a talented New Mexico squad that gave us the business earlier in that year. And it was also highlighted by an Omari Moore triple-double, which was the first triple-double in SJSU athletics since the year of 2013. This game was just an overall great feeling and set the mood for the rest of the week. Thanks for sending in that question, Shrey. The next question comes from none other than Leo Torber, who instigatingly asks, who is your favorite incoming recruit? Leo, why do you have to put me on the spot, my guy? There's no way I can single out a player in this scenario, as I'm excited with all of the skill sets y'all are bringing to our squad, and even if we narrow it down just to you incoming freshmen from high school, it's still way too hard to choose. Although, Leo, I will admit that I can't wait to see your explosiveness here at SJSU, so let's just say, it's you. The next question comes from Jacob, who asks, when are you going to CSU? Now, although I did state that I will try to go to all of the away games this year to visit the Mountain West campuses, it should be noted that Colorado State plays at San Jose this season. This means that I won't be able to travel up to Fort Collins until the 2025 season, if I'm even still Duck at that point. Barring any off-season travel plans, I don't think I'll be able to travel up there to Colorado at all for the rest of my SJSU career. Hopefully I get something sorted out, however, as visiting Fort Collins is definitely near the top of my Mountain West vacation list, so who knows, maybe I'll travel up there to experience an away basketball game or something. Anyway, appreciate you for asking, Jacob. Question 4 comes from Elizabeth, who asks, what is your dream job after you graduate? This is my favorite question to answer, as until the third year of high school, I had no idea what the heck I wanted to do with myself. But ever since then, I chose to go down the route of patient rehabilitation and aim to either be a physical therapist or an athletic trainer. I've been involved in athletics for years now, and whether I was on the field playing or on the sideline diagnosing an injury, I've experienced no better feeling than witnessing a player come back onto the field after a long rehabilitation process. I'm currently a kinesiology major planning to specialize in rehabilitation sciences, so I thankfully now have a goal to look forward to. Thanks for the question, Lizette. Up next, we got a question from none other than Jada, Missouri, who asks, what is the hardest part about being the Duck and a full-time college student? Now this is a tough one, as although I have a blast every single day doing this Duck character, there are many hardships that I have encountered throughout this past year. But to specifically answer your question, I would say that balancing my obsession with Spartan athletics and the schoolwork that I have to do has been the hardest thing in the past year. So some of you may be asking, what the heck does that mean, Duck? Well, let me explain it to you this way. When I'm not in class, I love taking in information and news about our athletic program. Whether it's transfer portal rumors, game schedules, game archives, news pieces, or roster changes, anything to do with San Jose State athletics has my interest. So during times such as midterms and finals, I find it extremely difficult to close the SJSU Spartans website and open up Canvas. And I have nobody else but myself to blame for this, so I'll hopefully overcome that feat. Anyway, appreciate you for asking, Jada. That actually connects me to my next question, which was asked by Obierka on Twitter, as they DM'd me asking, how your grades looking, youngin? You spending too much time on social media? While the second part of that question, well, is beyond truthful, I would like to say thank you to San Jose State for the abundance of resources they've made available for every student on the campus. Whether it's academic advising, health and wellness services, career counseling, or more, These services have definitely helped me improve in the classroom. I currently have a 3.52 GPA, which is okay for my standards, but I give all the credit in the world to the university for helping me reach that number. Hopefully all of you check out these services when we get back on campus next year. And anyway, thank you for checking in, Obiarka. Question 7 comes from Allison, who asked the question of all questions. What is your favorite kind of bread? Now, if we're going off of which bread I've consumed the most, King's Hawaiian easily takes the crown. But if I could have one specific bread for the rest of my life, I would have to give that title to, drumroll please, pandesal. And well, I know I carry around a massive baguette everywhere I go, but hear me out. For those of you who are viewing this right now that have never had pandesal, I'll be the first to tell you that you are missing out. It's a slightly sweet bread roll that's popular in my homeland of the Philippines that has always taken my breath away each time I eat it. Pandesal has played a huge role in making me, Anyway, thank you, Allison, for asking this important question. Next question comes from my guy Haluk, which is a guy I know very well, and he goes up to that safety school up in Palo Alto, who asks, who was that first follower that you've ever had on your social media accounts? Now, Haluk, I know you asked this question thinking I would give props to you, but it actually wasn't you. The award for the first ever bread getter goes to my guy Palmer, who all flashes IG up above my head. As the night I debuted my character at the homecoming game, I decided to create a social media account to take advantage of being shown on national television. I created my Instagram and Twitter an hour after the game ended, which was around midnight, and immediately started interacting with the various SJSU athletic accounts. Minutes later, Palmer followed me and asked me to come out to the rugby games, which I unfortunately still haven't done, but don't worry Palmer, I'll eventually make it out soon. Anyway, he was the first of my growing community, so I ask all of you to send him a bread emoji in the comments if you ever have a chance. Sorry to disappoint you, Haluk. Next question is from Olivia, who is another person I go way back with. And I know she asked this question knowing that my answer would cause some controversy, so thanks, Olivia. Anyway, she asked the question, who are your favorite sports teams? Now, I know I'm SJSU Duck, but SJSU is the only Bay Area team I support, so I'll just flash my favorite teams on the screen right now. So if you want to ask why I support any of these teams, then just drop a comment below and I'll explain it to you, I guess. Hope you enjoyed stirring the pot, Olivia. The next question is a bit odd as it comes from a deleted account, but this person asks, when you drop in your highlight tape? I'll just flash a couple on the screen for you to watch, as my playing career wasn't too much to take note of. And yes, I have played against some of the players on our current roster. The next question on our list comes from Jonathan, who asks, if you did not go to San Jose State, would you still have the Duck personality? The answer is no, and although I still would have frequently attended athletic events if I weren't at San Jose State, the Duck character was brainstormed and created inside of a dorm in Joe West Hall, so ducks are my favorite animal though, so thanks for asking, Jonathan. Next question comes from Nikhil, who asks, how long is your beak? Hold on, let me measure this. There you go. Okay, there you go. Alright. I mean, it's got a good personality. Next response comes from Vivian, who asks, I'd like to collab with you on stickers, buttons, keychains, and possibly your own duck cowbell. Hit me up. That sounds awesome, Vivian. And if you have any more ideas, then definitely just shoot me a message. And that goes for all of you as well. If you want to collab, I'd be glad to do so. Whether you want to collab with art, merch, or even have me make a video wishing somebody happy birthday, then just shoot me a DM and I'll let you know if it's a possibility. Thanks for asking, Vivian. That brings us to the last question of the episode, asked by RJ, who says, what inspired the start of the Duck character? I will answer this question in an entirely separate video, as I think all of you deserve the full story. I've given my brief story in various podcast appearances recently, but I think that the full story is something that truly deserves its own episode, so make sure y'all stay tuned, and thanks for asking, RJ. And that brings us to the end of this episode. Hopefully I was able to answer all of your questions and help you all get to know me a lot better. If you'd like to take part in these types of episodes down the road, follow all of my social media platforms and interact with me on there. And yeah, maybe we'll make it into a video. And keep your eye open for my next upload, which will be explaining my whole origin story. And yeah, that does it for me at the pond. I have no idea when that upload will be up, but until then, stay blessed, Spartan up, and get the bread. Take care, y'all.